For fans of the hit sitcom Roseanne, Sara Gilbert's name immediately brings back memories of her role as Darlene Connor Healy. Sara has faced many personal challenges in her life which have undoubtedly shaped her. Her struggles with identity, relationships, and fame have not been easy. This is her story, which is full of the complex reality of glamour's vulnerability and strength. Sara Gilbert, whose real name is Sarah Rebecca AES, was born on January 29, 1975 in sunny Santa Monica, California. Her parents, Barbara Cowan and Harold Abels, are both Jewish. Her maternal grandfather, Harry Crane, created the Honeymooners, and her grandmother, Julia Crane, was a dancer who was named Miss Brooklyn in 1984. Sara got the last name Gilbert from her mother's first husband, Paul Gilbert. She has two older half-siblings, a sister named Patrice and a brother named Joseph. She also has two older adopted siblings, Melissa and Jonathan Gilbert, who were both stars on Little House on the Prairie. Prairie's mother, Barbara, had been married to her father, Paul, before they got divorced. While she was married to Paul, Barbara adopted Jonathan and Melissa. Paul died in 1975 of a brain hemorrhage, and Harold and Barbara got a divorce soon after. Not long after Paul's death in 1984, Sara changed her last name from Abel to Gilbert to become an actor. Sara's mom, Barbara Crane, was used to working in Hollywood as a producer and talent manager. Sara was a talented and active child who wanted to be an actress like her older half-siblings who did cool things on the set of Little House on the Prairie. After appearing in TV movies and even a Kool-Aid ad, she hit it big when she was only 13 years old and got the part of Darlene Connor on Roseanne as the smart middle child. The show followed Darlene's journey from a child to a teen who was both artistic and very interested in politics. Sara was on the show for 9 years, from 1988 to 1997, and she was so important to the whole. Her ideas were so important to Roseanne that the producers had to make big changes to schedules and stories to accommodate her. This allowed her to study at Yale and stay on the show, filming Darlene scenes in New York while the rest of the cast was in Hollywood. Critics even said she did a great job of capturing the humor of her character's teen years. From 1991 to 1993, she won 3 Young Artist Awards and was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actress. Although Sara worked as an actress on TV in 1993 and 1994, she also found time to work in movies, collaborating with Drew Barrymore in 2 movies, Poison Ivy, 1992, and Riding in Cars with Boys, 2001. She was also in 1999. While things were going well for her, her father wasn't doing well financially. He had been a successful lawyer before his divorce from her mother in 1983, and when he asked Sara for money, she helped him out. The request made their relationship worse. She remembered, "I was 18 or 19 years old and making more money than any teenager should be making at the time. I just wanted him to be my dad." Eventually, she stopped giving her father money, but she later realized how hard it must have been for him to ask. When it comes to your family, it's better to give. In Harold's later years, when he got sick, Sara took care of him full-time until he died, trying to make up for the time she had refused to give him money when he needed it. After her time on Roseanne, Sara continued to make her mark in the entertainment industry with small parts in films like $30, also known as $30, as part of the Boys Life feature and High Fidelity. She even tried her hand at directing her own short film called Persona Non Grata in 1998 in 2000. She was in a production of The Hot L Baltimore at the Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts. Sara has also been on The Simpsons, 24 Will and Grace, Law and Order, and Special Victims Unit, and Private Practice After School. Sara got back into TV in 2004. She had a recurring role as the smart and sarcastic medical student Jane Figler on the long-running hospital drama ER. Her appearances spanned seasons 11 to 13. In 2005, she was on the WB network sitcom Twins, but her time there was short-lived because the show was canceled after only 1 season due to a network merger. From 2007 to 2010, she was occasionally on the CBS sitcom The Class as Fern Velch. Leslie Winkle, Johnny G's character Leonard Hofstadt's smart sidekick on The Big Bang Theory. This wasn't her first time working with GKI. He played her character's love interest on her first TV show, Roseanne. Coincidentally, they now found themselves as a possible love interest on The Big Bang Theory. Sara's role on The Big Bang Theory got bigger in the second season. Her character was now the main love interest for both Johnny G and Leonard Hofstadt. This went on between G's character and Howard's until 2009. After that, the show's writers started having trouble fitting her into the... Because of changes in the plot, Sara's character, Leslie Winkle, became less important as other characters, like Amy Farrah Fowler and Bernhard Rosenkowski, took the lead. This turned out to be a good thing because it gave her more time to work on other projects, like becoming the co-host and brains behind the talk show. The Cool Talk Show premiered on October 18, 2010, and Sara was so good on it that she won a Daytime Emmy Award in 2016 for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show. This was all because she produced and created the show. 3 years later, Sara finished her time as a co-host and became an executive producer for Roseanne's return. ABC picked up 8 episodes and began showing them on March 27, 2018. There was a lot of excitement about the show and ratings were up. Because critics liked the show, they decided to give it a second season. But on May 29, 2018, someone started a controversy on social media by saying hurtful things about Valerie Jarrett, who was an advisor to former President Barack Obama. Because of the drama, ABC canceled the show's revival after only 1 season. Sara made it clear that she and the show had nothing to do with the controversy on social media, but that didn't change their minds. The show itself had already been canceled. For a while, the show was on the edge. Roseanne had threatened to quit, but reportedly such threats happened almost every year on set, and executives even thought about stopping production if Dan Connor wasn't going to be on the show anymore. However, once the show was canceled, ABC quickly turned the Roseanne scandal into a new opportunity by announcing on June 21, 2018, that they would be starting a spin-off series called The Connors. This show would have the same familiar faces. Roseanne, with a few characters cut out. The show premiered in October 2018, and Sara not only starred in it, but also ran it as an executive producer. In 2019, she teamed up with experienced producer Tom Werner to make Sara plus Tom, a powerhouse created by merging Sara's TV company with Werner Entertainment. This professional partnership lasted for 30 years and came about because of their success working together with the Connors. However, the launch meant that Sara had to. Sara Connors stepped down as co-host of the talk show after 9 seasons. Maria Mosman took her place on the CBS daytime talk show when season 10 started in the fall. In addition to the Connors, Sara was also an executive producer for a new show called The Preps of Pittsburgh. The 8-episode series ran for 30 minutes each and was produced by Sony Pictures Television and Amazon Studios. The multi-talented star stayed busy and tried out new creative avenues. In her personal relationships, she started dating when she was a teenager, when she was with Gly, her co-star from Roseanne and then from The Big Bang Theory, where their characters were also in a relationship. It was during this time that she realized she was a lesbian, and she had a hard time telling everyone who she really was. She said she was in a relationship with someone 18 years older than her, but she did it because she remembered saying, "I dated Johnny Gly for a while. When I was a teenager, he was my lover and spouse on Roseanne. I was crazy about him because I thought he was so cute. When we started dating, he would come over and we'd kiss, but then I'd feel down." She and GKI stayed close friends despite this. Revelation: Sara started dating TV producer Ali Alder in 2001. They have 2 kids together. Sawyer Jane, Sara's daughter, was born in August 2007, and Levi Hank Alder's son was born in October 2004. She and Alder broke up, but no one knows why they broke up, but Sara was truly sad about it. The breakup made her think deeply about her life. "I'm starting to question if marriage is really all it's hyped up to be. I've never walked down the aisle, but I was in a long-term relationship. It's hard for me because we're no longer together." When you see couples in their 70s, you can't help but wonder how they do it. How do they make it last? And I want to believe that I can too. Sara avoided talking about her sexuality in public for a long time, which led her to live a secretive life. In July 2010, she took a big step when she came out as a lesbian, right before the premiere of her talk show, The Talk. Sara said, "When I talk about my sexuality on the show or in public, I still feel really scared. I try to act confident or make jokes about it, but there's always a part of me wondering, what is this costing me in my career?" Sara's journey to accepting her sexuality has not been easy. In the beginning of her career, the actress wasn't as open about who she really was, but her Roseanne co-star and ex-boyfriend Jiki was a big part of helping her accept who she was. For years, Sara had hidden this part of herself because she was afraid of what it would mean for her acting career, but Jiki's unwavering support and understanding made it safe for her to explore and eventually accept her sexuality. Sara, who was emotional, said, "Johnny was so supportive of me in that he was there for me in a way that a straight male co-star might not have been," she said. "It's not that I'm not happy with who I am or grateful for the life I have. I really am," she said. "But even when I got engaged, there was a part of me that thought, oh wow, now I have to tell everyone." She also had a touching moment when she said that she had told Glay about talking about this on the talk show, and he had offered to come on and hold her hand while she did it, showing his support. The couple's love and support for each other is clear. They often share cute throwback photos on social media, whether it's an old promo shot, a still from Roseanne's original run, or a more recent photo. Their bond is clear in posts like this one. "Sara Gilbert has a true heart that over the years has probably kept me from losing my mind in this industry town. I love you soap." It's clear that these two are soulmates, but Glay and Sara's relationship may have been. Even though it didn't last long, their friendship of decades is something to admire. In 2018, Sara's death was the best proof of their friendship. Described their relationship on and off screen. "There's just an indescribable chemistry between us. It's very rare and you only have it with some people. We're so lucky to have it with each other. He's like a family member to me." After breaking up with her first boyfriend, Sara found love with Linda Perry. On one episode of the talk show, that her budding romance with the former lead singer of 4N Blonde was revealed when photographers caught the couple out for a walk over the weekend. "I was out, the paparazzi were there, and suddenly it was all over the news that I was in a new relationship. It seemed strange to see it everywhere before I had a chance to adjust, and it caught me off guard," she said. Sparks flew between Sara and Linda, and they got engaged in the spring of 2013, leading to a magical wedding on March 30, 2014. On a memorable day in February 2015, Gilbert welcomed their son Rads Emilio Gilbert Perry into the world. Even though Sara and Adler said at first that they were no longer together, Adler reportedly felt deeply betrayed when Sara married Linda. There were rumors that Sara had left her long-term partner Adler for Perry, completely surprising her ex. A source said that when Sara and Elle got engaged, it was the final blow for Allison. The truth about Sara and Adler's breakup. There is still a lot of mystery surrounding Sara's personal life. Even though she has had a successful career in public speaking, she has always tried to keep her private life out of the public eye, even though her co-hosts on the talk show talked about their spouses in the CBS press release for the show. Gilbert, on the other hand, chose not to talk about her own personal life at all, clearly because it was a talk show and she knew she would be talking about it more. It may not have been the best time for her to talk about her personal life in a formal press release. As she said, "It just seemed impersonal and I felt like I'd rather come in person and talk to you about all that stuff here." After leaving the talk, she said, "I found myself unable to dedicate the time I wanted to my 3 children or to prioritize self-care. This shows how much she wants more privacy, which is hard to get when you're a guest on a talk show." According to her, it makes her feel better to know that if anything happens in her personal life, she doesn't have to talk about it. "I believe that my intention when I appeared on the show was to challenge myself in that way and advance both spiritually and mentally, but I'm willing to let go of that aspect of it," she said. Sara's way of sharing details about her life shows that she values her own privacy and boundaries. In a time when celebrity lives are often closely watched by the public, she limited any privacy as a reminder that people can and should control the story of their own personal experiences. Aside from the desire for privacy, Sara had been juggling a lot of work commitments for a long time, and it was starting to show in her health. After the birth of her 3rd child, she had stopped exercising completely because her schedule was so busy. Her demanding work schedule left her feeling physically and emotionally worn out. She knew something had to change and was determined to get her health back. Made a simple decision. She would move her body for just 15 minutes every day. she explained. I wanted to reintroduce exercise into my routine to regain both the physical and emotional benefits. Sometimes she would even be able to fit in an hour-long yoga session. These mindful movements not only strengthened her body, but also calmed her overworked mind. She no longer let her health take a back seat by prioritizing just 15 minutes a day. She had rediscovered the profound impact of consistent self-care. Her hard-working spirit and unwavering commitment had paid off, but as time went on, Sara and Perry decided to go their separate ways. After 5 years, Linda filed for legal separation from Sara, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. The couple, who had been together for 5 years, ran into stormy weather, and by December 27, 2019, they were legally separated. In January 2020, Linda talked about her relationship with Sara at the Art of Elysium Gala at the Hollywood Palladium. She said, "You have to look at life as life, and things happen. I'm still on an amazing adventure with Sara. I love her and adore her." Despite this, they got divorced on October 15, 2021, 2 years after they split up. Both celebrities were given joint custody of their son and had to co-parent him together. Sara threw herself into work, which was lucky for her because that's when her very successful show, The Conners, came back to TV. But Sara did say, "I went through a lot. After 3 months of therapy, I got rid of all the tears and other feelings I had." She says, "I want to live a true life. People often say that things get better, and they do, but I want people to know that there may still be struggles, and that's okay. It's like a process." Sara's willingness to talk about her process shows that she deeply understands and empathizes with others who are going through similar things. She knows that many people are on a long, difficult journey, and Sara's readiness to share her story is truly an inspiration to many. Her acceptance of herself is a profound act of courage. It's impossible to overstate how important it is to have loving friends and family to help you through hard times.